Um, Kat, we are ready when you are.
Hi, everybody. I'm going to follow that. So wish me luck there. And I'm also a crier when I say things I truly mean. So you're going to just get to ride that wave with me. Sorry, not sorry. I, like Danny, really struggled with my testimonial and went through several kinds of words and then realized at the end of the day that, oh, that's right. I host on stage for a living. So we're going to just bullet point and wing it. And I imagine everyone's emotionally exhausted at this point. I am. And we're just hearing from the smallest sample of people who she touched, who were loved by her, who she loved, in all the different kinds of ways that love means. And some of these stories have been really familiar to a lot of us. Some of them have been brand new. And all of them reveal who Angie was. And though I feel really lucky to call her part of my life, to call her my friend and my meta and my partner, I know that there's as much bittersweet for all of us here, for all of the reasons, for all of the logistics, and for all of the emotional purpose behind which we meet. And the individual memories that we each have of her are how we begin to immortalize her. We narrativize and celebrate her life by going back and finding these stories, these words, and all of the complexity of her, the good and the bad and the paradoxical and the outgoing and the shy and the brave and the scared and the multitudes that she had. And we tell those stories to each other and we gather those snippets up and these encapsulating moments, and we lay them out to each other, these small private things. And we retell our memories, and it's a kind of poetry. We spread the songs of her life, and we make a saga of it. And I have my own moments to share too. The first memory I have of her after being introduced as a person who loves to organize, the person that I should meet, the loving, outgoing person. And an hour or so into our evening at the karaoke, she bounced up to me at the bar and said, "Do you mind if I flirt with your husband?" And I said, "Oh, please do. He'd had a hard day." And that was the start. That was the start of me knowing her. It was the start of me knowing Daniel. That was the start of the most beautiful group of people entering my life because of her, because of that little moment. And I got to have my first proper femme, just the two of us lady date with Angie. And she took me to the Phantom of the Opera sequel musical at the Pantages. And for those of you musical folks, you know how great a musical that is. And so we got to share both the genuine joy of the being in the theater and dressed up and watching this beautiful production value and these beautiful voices, while at the same time MST3King that whole thing and making constant lovely snide remarks about the joy of a composer making a new musical just to spite his ex-wife. And that juxtaposition was so much Angie to me. I remember her holding court at Caesars, having a pool cabana on a Vegas convention, magic convention, and everyone falling in love with her. The pair of masseurs that would come by and offer back rubs to people in the cabanas, they stayed in for the longest time, and they came out chatting and laughing and carrying the little squiddles that she was making even in the cabana. Us sitting up talking half the night, and Daniel would just snore and snore, and we'd talk louder, cover him up, talk over him, going down rabbit holes of conversation and finding more and more in common with that lovely white noise backdrop. And honestly, both loving Buffy the Vampire Slayer enough that I decided to overlook the Twilight thing. She was probably one of the most supportive people I ever met, even to her friends, even to half strangers. She would go to your show. She would sit with you and talk about whatever concerns or problems or venting you needed. She offered solutions, but she also would sit and just let you talk if that's what you needed. And honestly, getting to be her unicorn sometimes, her mermaid, getting popped in her carry-on, she liked to say. Every road trip with her was this charming adventure, full of a mix of music, because none of us shared any musical taste, my lord. And even in her no-nonsense way, she wanted everyone to do the thing. Whatever your thing was, do the thing. Live your life, move, try a relationship with that new person, try a new hobby, do the thing. Make art, if that's what you do, the thing. And all of these things leading to watching the love she had for people, for her partners, for people. As I met her, I knew her less time than these other partners, but every moment I get to feel lucky for. And though I'm not her priestess by any means, we were very connected about earthy things, woo-woo-y things, and to be part of the community that supported her and Daniel, and part of the ceremonies and rituals that we held for her and Daniel is a very meaningful thing to me that I will always have. And I'm going to have a couple quotes for you, and then I'm going to close with one more thought. For favorite TV for us both, does it get easy? You mean life? Yeah. Does it get easy? What do you want me to say? Lie to me. Yes, it's terribly simple. The good guys are always stalwart and true. The bad guys are easily distinguished by their pointy horns or black hats. And we always defeat them and save the day. And no one ever dies. And everybody lives happily ever after. Liar. Life isn't bliss. Life is just this. It's living. As we as we write these things, those of us who've had to go through this struggle now and write these things, and the people who've written GoFundMe, and the people who made the magic tournament wording, and the people who have written things on leaves and screamed them into the ocean. these things, these words, crafting these things, there's a reason they call it spelling. We find ourselves needing to process our loss and our grief and our anger and even our relief that she no longer suffers. And we craft with our words the story of Angie's life. And her impact on the world and her impact on our lives. And in that way, we make spells for her. We do our spellcraft. And as we said, Angie, so many of us have said, Angie encouraging, so full of life, so full of energy, always do the thing, travel big, love big, embrace your nerdy hobby big. And so whatever that means to you, with her tirelessness and her impact on so many people and the strength and energy of our grief, let it be as encompassing to us as her energy. Harness that. I encourage you to make art with that energy, to create, to write, or to cry out screaming, or to sing, and complete a community space. Make a new community family for people. Build a deck. May the love for Angie that we have and the love that she had for us empower your work and embrace the spellcraft. I love you, Bunny.
Thank you, Kat, for that. And for those of you that didn't, I definitely had a bit of a small chuckle to myself when I recognized one of those quotes, the life isn't bliss, life is just this, it's living. That was from the Once More with Feeling episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which was one of Angie's favorite TV shows, which anyone who knew her at all probably knew that. Chris wanted to share a little thing that he found, that he remembered that he found here.
Kat had mentioned a deck. This is something that I made for Angie a while ago. Can you guys see that? See it? Let's go to back. There it is. Oh, so you can see the camp? Go ahead.
So this is made in Magic Speak, so it's not an actual card, but it has abilities that Angie would have if she was a card, such as driving and things like that.
So, and she made her decks in here. Wrote little decks in here. But anyway, I thought I made this for her back in 2002.